Da-da-doo, it's easy as the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s. Woo. Southern Charm premiered.
Yep, season 10 is
Here we are.
Yes.
Love Southern Charm.
Love.
Huge
love
Southern
this show.
Charm fan.
Huge.
Do
Do you like it better than Vanderpump Rules?
I like it
Because that's isn't Vanderpump your favorite out of all of them?
as much. I like it probably as much, but it's such a different vibe.
It really is. I love where it's filmed. I love Charleston. I love everything. I just love the show.
I was it wasn't a bad premiere. I was slightly underwhelmed though.
Me too.
I was hoping for a little bit more out of the gate.
So was I. Yeah, I mean, we know JT has left the building.
JT is
and he was kind of showcased a lot in this episode, knowing that he's like out. It just, I don't know. Did it leave a damper a little bit? Maybe that was it. I don't know.
I thought I liked him last season. I don't.
So did I.
I don't know what happened to him.
No, I
in
don't
this
either.
Episode, but
I don't know.
we start off with getting a butt shot of Shep in the shower.
Oh,
Now,
yes.
I'm not going to say I mind. Shep has a nice butt, but I don't think I need to see Shep's butt
No.
first off the top.
No.
Jeff is like a dirty. Shep is like a little bit of a dirty bird.
Yeah,
I mean,
a little bit.
He seems to have tried to clean up his act,
Yeah, like he's not drinking as much. He's going to the gym.
but he said it was when he went down to Costa Rica and did this thing. Like it said it was like 3 years of therapy in 4 nights.
Right.
He made it sound like he was down there for a month.
Right.
4 nights. I mean,
Is that how long
Sheppy.
he was there?
That's
Some
what he
spiritual
said.
healing journey he
That's
went
what
on,
he said,
right?
and we'll get into it. Pardon me. We'll get into it when we're talking about, when the boys come up to the farm.
Right.
But of course, we see another leg of Shep's family money.
Oh,
up
yeah.
in
Boykin, South
It was, like,
Carolina.
given to his family from one of the kings.
Yes, he was going into
And
that. There's a history there.
Yeah, the town is named after his family. So
For centuries. Yeah.
And then the ding dongs, Dumb and Dumber, Austin and Craig, on their way up there, going to the farm, and they got the back of the thing open. I'm like,
Yeah,
these two-
Craig is always the
they're like
driver.
2 old ladies. I just do not like Austin. He's cute.
The Honda of
Honda Civic
cars.
of men.
Yeah.
I just am not a fan because of the way he's treated women over and over. Now he's got this new girlfriend, his Schmooky,
Audrey.
his Pookiepotamus,
Pookie Monster.
Pookie Monster. Like, he's serial.
This poor girl. I don't know.
He is serial. If anybody has ever watched this show,
Yeah.
why would you ever go near Austin?
Yeah.
He's going to break your heart.
Yeah, he's going to break her heart. But he seems like he's a relationship person at the same time.
He is.
So he wants to be in a relationship, but it's just. Did you like him with Madison when he was with Madison?
No.
Okay, yeah, it
But
didn't work with them.
It did.
Right?
But also because they were constantly fighting. But
Yeah.
Austin is just. After I saw what he pulled with Sierra on Summer House.
Oh, see, now
After-
I didn't watch Summer House then.
After he was Mr. Serial at Winter House, where they first got together.
Is that where they got together on Winter House?
They got together in
Oh,
Winter
okay.
House, and it was all like,
Poor
I'm going to
Sierra.
marry you. You're going to marry me. I'm in love with you. And Sierra, who's so closed off, fell for this complete dickweed.
Right.
The way he treated her on Summer House, after that, I was
Well,
like,
how did he treat her? Like he just ignored
disgusting.
her?
He was
Or
kissing Lindsay, and
Oh.
he hadn't talked to her, and then he comes and he's just so disgusting the way that he was treating her and the way that he was drunk and just kind of blowing her off and like, Sierra, what's wrong? And it was just, you saw just what a monster he is to women.
Oh,
Like,
that's
the
bad.
disrespectful disgustingness of it.
Okay.
And
Well, yeah, he's a little screwed up then. For
well,
sure.
just he's got issues.
Yeah, he has
And
issues. I always go back,
He-
and I know Shep brought it up in this episode about what happened to his sister
I
when
don't
they
think
were
it has
children.
anything to do with that.
And I know, but I always have this little bit of a soft spot for
I
him
mean, I do.
because he's so close with his other sister and he's close with his family.
Yeah,
and
they're
he
super-
comes from a very good family.
Or a close
it
family.
seems
I don't know if
close.
they're good or not. I mean, they seem like nice people.
They
but-
seem supportive. supportive
Yeah,
and
they seem like
wholesome
nice
and
people, but I don't know about
nice,
I don't know about that.
and, there's the root of some of his issues. I don't know, I guess he's influenced by his surroundings too. I mean, he's friends with
I think
Shep,
he's just
and
he's in love
Craig
with
is a
himself.
very good relationship guy, though,
Yeah, he
so
totally is. No, but Austin is in love with himself. He's
okay.
6'5",
He's
thinks
always
he's
doing his hair.
oh my god, he's totally in love with himself, and
Yeah.
he's hot. He's a good-looking guy, and he
Well,
knows
he's
it.
really tall, he's like 6'5",
Six
right?
six or something,
Mm.
6'5", 6'6", and he's in love with himself, and
Well,
that's
you
it.
saw
I
him
think
in
it's as
person at
far as it
BravoCon,
goes.
didn't you?
Yeah, I don't really think he's thinking about any of the other stuff, to be honest. He's
Okay.
thinking about who can I get over with fast, because that's his pattern.
Did you take a picture with him or meet him when you went to
I took a
BravoCon a
picture with
few years
Sheppy.
ago? Oh, with Sheppy,
Yeah,
okay.
with Shep. I'll post that picture of me and Shep. It's a terrible picture of me.
No, you always look
But
good in pictures.
no,
But show I
I
wanna see
caught
it.
Shep walking by. It wasn't like I
Perfect.
waited in the line.
Okay,
And I
so
do
you
have
didn't
some
get
pictures
go
with him.
over to Austin or Craig or anyone else on the show, and Madison, none of that?
No, but it
Uh,
was so chaotic. You couldn't even.
yeah, I can imagine. People probably went crazy when they saw them.
So it seems that
Um,
JT and Vanita have gotten a little close, and I
yeah,
think
I didn't pick that up last season, did you?
no. Well, she
'Cause
said they
she said they
bonded.
bonded in Jamaica.
Right. So, but I think this is something tells me there's something to do with JT's off the show has something to do with Vanita. I bet.
I would think something fell out with
Mhm.
them and it caused problems. Yes, that's my feeling too.
Because, they're super and they're going shopping for clothes and
And he says they have chemistry.
yeah, and you're calling
And
him
she's
Sheffy.
getting a little like, "Ooh," when she's talking about him.
Yeah.
So,
Well, she had a boyfriend last season. What
she
happened to him?
did. Yeah, I guess it did. Maybe she'll go into that. I don't know. It didn't work out. But they look like they have a good, like a good close friendship, which is nice. But he hurt himself. He was in Costa Rica too.
He had an accident
He had
with
an
an ATV.
accident and his leg got caught.
And he said, pin my leg." And then the doctor, and then he said, "It was a near death experience." And he was like, "But it really wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I guess I'm fine." I was like, "What is up with you, JJ?"
I don't I really don't mind him. He's just like this short little Napoleon kinda guy, but he's
I
funny and he's got a lot of guts.
I was a JT fan last season
So
because he
was
was
I.
calling out Austin, and I loved it. And I was like, he's confident. He's got a good little body on him.
He was sticking up for
But
Taylor when
he
she
was
needed
so
it.
bizarro in this episode, I thought.
Well, with the Willy Wonka cane and right? They were calling him Willy Wonka. It was just
It was a weird thing, but they weren't
I don't
even
know.
canes he was giving out. Pardon me. Those
Yeah,
were
I wasn't
walking
following the
sticks.
walking
Those were
stick.
walking sticks, the big
That's
ones.
what Willy Wonka had, didn't he?
Yeah,
The walking
exactly.
stick. Um, okay.
So, all right.
Anyway, it was yeah, this episode was yeah, it was a little like you said the perfect word. It was underwhelming. So we get introduced to the new girl, Molly,
Molly.
Madison's friend, and
I
she's
have
a former model.
so many things to say about Molly.
What do you think?
Um, I think Molly is a model, but I don't think she's very attractive. But sometimes attraction and attractiveness and modeling don't go hand in hand.
Right. Like she looks like she's tall
She
and
looks tall.
she had gained weight, she said, but when she was really model
Wait,
thin, it might have worked.
she said that she has a thyroid problem, so she's
Right.
put on 45 pounds and she's lost a lot of her modeling jobs.
Okay.
Where in God's name did she put on 45 pounds? She must have been a thermometer because my God,
She still looks great,
she's still very in a great shape. So where did she put on 45 pounds? I have no idea.
Wow.
And if you can, but they did show her, some pictures, and she walked for Vivian Westwood and all that.
Yeah, she was like
So
model.
yeah, she has some
Allure.
modelly look, but I don't. In person, I wasn't really finding her to be like, oh
I
my
would
God, she's a
never
model,
look at her and go,
supermodel.
"Oh my God,
Yeah,
this woman is
supermodel.
striking." No.
It's very ordinary.
But yeah, and you know what? A lot of them do. It's like they have to have the height, they
Yeah.
have to have the hair,
And the body.
they have to have the body. So maybe now, what I was thinking though was, well, she could do plus modeling, right? Like maybe she could do that. Maybe she's doing that. Who knows? But she sexted with Craig whenever that was. I guess it
So
was
the
before
The
Paige.
funny part about it is they've only sexted and they've only been online naughty video lovers.
They don't know each other in person.
They've never hooked up in person. She's like,
Yeah.
he's like, Paige thinks it's hilarious that we've never hooked up in person. Like, I
That's
can't even
funny.
imagine that Craig would be so stupid to send his naughty, dirty videos out.
I think he's very big into that.
I don't know,
By
but
the
then
way, can I as a side note, Madison said on Watch What Happens Live that of all the men on Southern Charm, he's the most endowed.
who's that? Craig?
Craig.
Good for
She
Craig.
was asked that question, and who's the most endowed? And
Who asked
she said, I think
Madison?
Andy asked Madison,
How
who's
was
the
she
most
aware?
endowed.
Was
She
ever
said she heard.
she
Yeah.
heard it through the grapevine.
Sorry, I had to throw in that side note.
I
I
love
didn't
that.
watch this episode, but I saw a clip. So
I love that.
yeah,
So
that
those
was
2 are
interesting.
looking for a dress for the what is it called? The Corinthian Cup?
The
No.
Carolina Derby.
Oh, the Carolina Cup.
Oh, the Carolina Cup.
Yeah,
I thought
the
it was the Carolina Derby.
No, the Carolina Cup, they were
Okay.
calling it. So
Yeah.
she's having a party and she's looking
She's
for a
like-
dress. And I
Well,
thought
she
that
got the
was cute.
beautiful Pretty Woman dress. She looked perfect.
Oh
in
yeah,
it.
she did. She did have the pretty
Yeah.
woman look. I mean,
She
that
did.
was
She
kinda
she
fun.
nailed it. She nailed it.
So on their way up,
Mhm.
they're talking about, that Craig misses Shep and he wants some clarity from Shep about what he really wants and will support him. But I guess they really hurt Shep.
They blew him off.
When they blew him off. But you know what? After that BravoCon,
Is this the BravoCon you were at?
No, this is the BravoCon that was in Vegas where he
was a
literally-
mess because he was a mess at the one you went to a couple of years ago in New York, right?
Pardon me, he wasn't that bad there.
Oh,
But
okay.
that was different. It wasn't in Vegas. This was like a recipe for disaster for someone like Shep.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I mean?
He blacked out basically. He probably doesn't remember what he
doesn't remember any
said.
of it. Like, I think Austin's a good friend to Shep in that he's taken him so many. I think these guys have been carrying Shep around for so long.
Right.
Like, I remember when they were coming back from somewhere and Shep was too drunk to get on the plane and Craig was like, shut up, I'll get you on. Like, they're constantly cleaning up his drunk ass.
Well, you
know?
can, and look, people get really tired of that. You know, there's only so many times you're going to keep doing that before you say, okay, enough. Right?
So they sat down and had a little, when they got to the farm.
Yes.
I saw a lot of nacho cheese going into, like, I feel like Shep eats
A lot
like
of junk food
I
they
feel
eat
like
there.
Shep eats like it's 1970. He's just like, bleh,
Yeah, like
just
I'll eat anything.
like, what is it? Tostitos, like
Oh, in the jar,
in
the cheese in the
I
jar.
was like, oh my
I'm like,
God,
are
the
we
coffin
eating that?
closer.
Really?
Coffin closer right there.
Oh man.
But Shep sat him down and he was like, look, I feel I've got a lot of anger. I've got a lot of pain. You
Yeah.
abandoned me. No one talked to me. And
Yeah.
I love Craig. He's like, well, it like affected my work. I'm a business owner. And I love that they shoot
Well,
back.
he takes his pillow business very seriously.
Well,
It's a
he
very
should.
successful company.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
yes.
should, but
Yeah.
it makes him not have to be a lawyer too. So I'm sure he's thrilled.
Oh, he's thrilled.
But
yeah.
he's like, and then he's like, let's just, and then they cut to Shep going, Craig has done a lot of questionable shit over the years. And then they go through all the things that Craig had done. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I never go to sleep. And then I slept for 20 hours. And I mean, he lied about the bar. I mean,
Yes, yes,
come
yes.
now.
Yeah.
He is definitely,
So he doesn't want his business to get affected, of course.
No, I
We
mean, I get it.
understand.
He's afraid to ever have anything. Like, he wants to be squeaky clean, but he's saying it's the best. He's given up drinking. It's the best his relationship's ever been.
Yes.
I think Paige told him, put the kibosh on the drinking.
Yeah. Well, Paige has cleaned him up tremendously.
She has. It just shows you.
She
the
really
woman
has.
that
A woman's influence. Even his style, everything has changed with Craig.
And he's chubbier. He used to be.
Yeah,
so
he put on some
he
nice
was
weight.
so skinny.
He was so skinny in the
didn't eat.
beginning.
Well,
he
taking
was
all
on
the
Adderall,
exactly,
right?
which just charges you up.
Yeah, right. And then he would go like days without sleeping, and then he'd be sleeping like 20 hours at a time. So he was all over the place, Craig.
It's just funny because I
So
love
he's
how
come a long
men.
way.
I love how men talk because Austin's like, at the bottom line, I love the guy, and then they're like, all right,
Yeah.
we're just gonna reset.
They have a
We're
bromance.
gonna reset.
Yes.
And that was that.
Yes.
And then they set a fire. And this is when I was laughing. When Craig was standing in the other room and Austin and Shep were
Oh,
talking.
he was
And
eavesdropping.
he's like, I had a vision of you and your sister.
Yeah.
And I thought, and I started to cry for you. And then I had a vision of Taylor. She was in my nest and I wanted her to be this big, majestic bird. And she kept crashing into the window. I was like, what? Had they dropped some acid? Like, what the fuck are they talking about? And even Craig was in the other room like, this is so dumb, man. What?
But here, I'm going to say something. I'm not a big fan of Taylor. I don't really like her.
Would she?
It's not like I'm rooting for her. I don't know why. I know Shep did not treat her well.
Excuse me. When this is what I lost.
I don't like what she did to Olivia.
When I lost all respect for Taylor. That.
Yeah.
But when she also sent a picture of herself, like the mink puff in full regalia right out for everyone to see, sent it to Whitney and said, "Open for business."
Please.
What? I have lost
she's a little cuckoo.
I have lost all respect for you, Taylor.
Agreed.
So
if we're going to get back on, if you want me to I flip-flop a lot. I always flip-flop.
I'm a flip-flopper.
I'm a huge flip-flopper.
I flip-flop.
So I might like Taylor this season, but last season I couldn't stand her. I was like, oh.
Sometimes it just depends on where they are in their life and what's happening.
Right.
That was such an awkward when they get to the Carolina Cup and Shep with talking to Taylor and he's like, hi. And he's like, I think you should read my text. It's a nice text, but I think you blocked me.
Him.
And she was like, I don't need his text. And you know what? I agree with her.
Yeah.
She was so in love with him.
Oh, I know. I mean,
oh my God.
She was a wounded bird.
Oh,
big time.
She was.
So she was not a majestic bird. She was a wounded bird.
He wanted her to be the majestic bird, but she just kept showing muff shots to Whitney. So that must have been the crashing into the window.
My God. But she has her new boyfriend, Gaston.
No one looks like Gaston. No one looks like Gaston. That's from Gaston from, is it Aladdin? Oh, no, what's the name? Gaston. He's got the curve in his chin. Gaston.
Is that Aladdin?
It's a Disney.
Yeah.
It's one of them. He's the big Gaston.
I know who you're talking about.
I can't believe I can't. I'm not a huge Disney person. But
me neither.
Every time she says Gaston, I think, no one looks like Gaston. No one looks like Gaston.
Right.
I don't know. But then JT comes walking with the walking sticks. So strange.
And he gives them out. He gives one to Austin, who he still has issue with.
I don't understand.
It was just
so
he
weird.
was behaving very bizarrely. Right?
I understand.
And of course, the nail in the coffin was that he handed one to Miss Patricia.
Oh boy.
Which is super disrespectful.
It was like F.
I cringed when he did that. I said,
what?
Oh
He's
my
like, is that
God.
Pat over there? Is that Miss Pat? I was like,
oh my God.
My
Not
God.
disrespect Miss Patricia.
Pat, yeah, but now that Pat hates you, maybe then it has something. Then so now
That
something
could be-
happened.
It's spiraling
Something
from
hap-
there.
Right, something happened with Vanita. We don't know, but something I'm sure happened with her.
Yes.
Then Miss Pat.
Yeah.
But it says it's going to unfold on the show. Why?
Yeah. Okay.
Shep said that because they asked him at the Miami Fan Fest.
Oh, like the fallout of him and Pat or him and Vanita?
Him and leaving the show. They
Okay.
asked Shep and said, what do you think about it? And Shep was like, look, it just wasn't a fit. It was weird. Something happens. You'll watch the lead up and it just wasn't good.
Okay.
And
Okay.
he's out.
Yeah.
But it was also interesting that he was talking about JT's like, my fuckboy exorcism didn't work. And he can't be honest at all. But then he's like, hey, man. And when he hands him the cane, it made no sense.
It didn't make any sense.
It was not.
It was like a peace offering. I don't know what that was.
I don't know.
It was very strange.
So it's interesting that, of course, now Craig and Molly are seeing each other, even though they've hooked up online. And
yeah, that was. It didn't look too awkward. But what was interesting was that Molly didn't seem to like that Whitney had a date.
She's already.
So she has a little dalliance with Whitney.
So she's already been with Whitney. I mean, these guys do not.
It's very incestuous.
Somebody new shows up and they're all just vultures. And she cooked him lamb shanks.
Yes, that's right.
She cooked lamb shanks.
How nice.
Yeah, odd.
Yeah,
so,
a little bit.
So
I
she was
guess
not
there's
happy.
something going on that's going to be shown there with Molly and Whitney.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I don't know.
But he shows up with the young girl, and I like when somebody was like, looks like she, was it Molly said, looked like she was a little tired, that she
little weak.
She wasn't rested, like she needs a little OJ.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, because Whitney was probably banging her on she said she looks tired and low energy. I was like, she needs some OJ.
She needs some OJ and maybe a cookie.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I'm sure this girl's not gonna last.
I don't know. Doesn't seem interesting to me, but we'll
She's
see.
not gonna last. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just one in a line for Whitney.
I'm still upset that Olivia left. I really
I know
liked her on
Olivia
the show.
she really got the shaft.
She got the shaft. It didn't make a lot of sense that they gave her the shaft.
And then it
So,
was
I
like,
don't know.
he gave Miss Pat the cane, and then next thing you know, it's like 2 months later, and then they're all fighting.
Yeah.
And then it ended.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, "What is going on here?"
I don't know.
It was a lot of
It was not a
fluff.
great first
It
episode.
wasn't a great first listen, I'm gonna stick with it because love Southern Charm.
Oh, I'll always love Southern Charm.
But it was odd.
I'll stay with it no matter what, but it's gotta get better than this.
It will get better, but we know Pat's gonna be
Yeah.
pissed, and we're gonna hear about it, but all it was fighting
Yes.
in the 2 month later.
Oh, and you know what happens this season? Shep does fall in love.
Oh, right, he's got
He
himself
uses the L word. I don't know if he said
I feel like
love
he's
to
another
Taylor, but he
serial
found
he's another serial lover.
yeah.
If he didn't marry Taylor, honestly, I don't think he's marrying anyone.
I think
And
he
Austin's
himself has
saying-
said that he doesn't want to get
Also,
married.
and even Madison was on Watch What Happens Live, and about Audrey, schmoopopotamus or pookopotamus or whatever.
Pookie
And she
monster.
said, "Oh yeah," she said, Austin invited us to go out here tonight with them, like her and Brett." And she's like, "He's saying to me that he thinks he found his Brett." I'm like, "He's so full of shit. He just wants to make you think that he's in love with something."
Yeah.
He's not.
No.
There is no way.
No.
He's only 35 or 36. He's not even thinking about anything until he's 50.
Yeah, right.
I will be shocked if Austin
Mhm.
get married.
Nah,
And that's it.
That
Anyway, so we're gonna keep our eyes on it. Of course, we love Southern Charm.
we love it.
Till next week.
Yes.
All right, we're out.
We're out.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.